So, the Memphis Grizzlies have a player that has come in and seemingly fit in seamlessly with the absence of Ja Morant and has helped keep this team winning games. It's helped keeping Memphis in touching distance because, look, the Western Conference is a bloodbath. It is an absolute bloodbath. And, like, realistically, you're going to need to win as many games as you can just to make it into the play-in the Western Conference. It's a really tough one. But the Memphis Grizzlies are right in the mix. They are 9-7 this season. And that's big because it's keeping them ahead of the Dallas Mavericks. They're only one game, or they're half a game off the 5th seed. They're tied on games with the 6th seed. And they're, 2 games off the 3rd seed? So that's the thing when it comes to the Memphis Grizzlies. But the thing about the Grizzlies is a big player for them this season has been Scottie Pippen Jr. And it's funny because this is what happens when, when nepotism doesn't get you a spot in the league. You become hungrier and you become a better player. So, if you guys don't know, Scottie Pippen Jr., he played in high school. He's obviously Scotty's kid. Like, he was a 4-star recruit in high school. And you can see he averaged, as a senior, averaged 16 points. He played in high school with, he went to Sierra Canyon, same place as Bronny. Played with Marvin Bagley, Kenyon Martin, Cassius Stanley. And as a senior, he averaged 16, 4, and a 3. And ended up only going to Vanderbilt. He only had offers, by the way, he was a 4-star recruit. He basically had the same scout grade as Bronny James. And he only had Vanderbilt, Colorado, San Francisco, UC Santa Barbara, Hofstra, and Washington State. Not even Colorado State College. So he took the best offer, which is Vanderbilt. As a senior, in his senior season, I think he averaged like 20. Didn't get drafted in 2022. And then went and signed for the Lakers. So you might have thought, okay, yeah, things will work out. Yeah, for the Lakers, he did not play much. See here, he was a two-way player, split time, was pretty decent in Summer League, and he only signed an Exhibit 10 contract in his first year. An Exhibit 10, which is below a two-way. And then he ended up joining the South Bay Lakers. So, like, he played, how many games did he play for LA? He played 6 games for the Lakers, averaged 2 points per game. And then last season, he was signed by the Grizzlies on a two-way, and then ended up playing in 26 games, starting 16, averaging 12.9 points per game last year as they were tanking. So you might have thought, okay, yeah, that's really going to be it. Like, okay, he just played when they were tanking, Ja Morant's gone. This season, he's been fantastic. 11, 4, and 5. He had a triple-double. Like, if you're looking at the points, 8 points here in a win, 10 points in a win against Denver. And the guys come in and given them everything. He's rebounded well. Like, at 6'1" to rebound as well as he does. And this is just where it comes from, like, just wanting it. Like, Bronny James, we're seeing, like, the nepotism getting him into the league. There was no nepotism getting Scottie Pippen Jr. into the league. Like, he was almost going playing overseas. He had a call with his dad about whether or not, like, whether or not it was even worth it keeping trying. Whether or not it was worth staying in the G League. Because the only reason people stay in the G League long term is because of their dreams of the NBA. He was almost giving up on those dreams and was going to go and play overseas and say, like, you know what, let me just make more money overseas. And, like, Scottie Pippen, he had a call with his dad where Scottie Pippen basically said, that might be the right decision. Go play overseas, make your career. There was no, let me put in a word and get you on a roster. There was no, oh, let me make sure you sign, let me get you a 4-year deal with a team. No, he did exactly what any player would who's not named Scottie Pippen Jr. Obviously, the reason why we're talking about him now, we're talking about this story, is because there is the contrast. Because there is the contrast of what happened with Scottie Pippen Jr. and what happened with Bronny James. With both of them being ranked as effectively equivalent prospects coming out of high school. I will say, though, like, Scottie Pippen was a better high school player. Jr. was a better high school player than Bronny, but not by a crazy amount. But he was a better high school player than Bronny. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. He was. So we have to look at it like that, and we have to talk about, in general, like, how this looks. And I think in the future what's going to happen. Like, the thing is, like, one thing is for sure. Bryce James is not going to make the NBA. We've seen it happen with Bronny It's not going to happen. They're not going to let it happen again. But it does just show that the reason for Bronny, not like, a lot of people are like, oh, Bronny James, the reason why he couldn't really make it is because, he came from money. He's never had to know like any hardship. And it's like, and most of these NBA players now don't. Like, they all come, a lot of them come from rich families. A lot of them come from our NBA parents. But like, you've seen Scottie Pippen Jr., how he dealt with it. Like, he had to go to Vanderbilt. He didn't go to a better college. He was exceptional at Vanderbilt, especially as a senior. He grinded his way out, played in the G League, played on Exhibit 10 contracts. Like, he wasn't drafted. He had to grind his way to this point. And now he has become one of the more important players for a pretty good Memphis Grizzlies team. And without Ja Morant, he's been one of the players that has allowed the team to continue to win, despite the fact that Ja Morant, their best player by a mile, is injured. So for Scottie Pippen Jr., he is the example of, like, he is a prime example of, like, not just coasting because of your name. He is the example of, maybe, you could maybe argue, oh, he wouldn't have gotten that summer league spot, which I think he still would have, if his name wasn't Scottie Pippen Jr. Like, you could maybe argue that. But even if you want to argue that, the guy was cut. The guy wasn't even signed to a two-way. He had to earn his way to this spot. Got back on the Grizzlies last year while they were tanking. No one thought he was going to do anything this year, and is playing even better this year on a team that's winning. Like, 12, 4, and 6 as a bench guard is a really, really good numbers. So, and then also my favorite part of the season was when he balled out against the Milwaukee Bucks, and he was just like, well, I wanted to prove it to one of those coaches that cut me. Obviously, Darvin Ham. So the Lakers could have had him as a backup point guard. Like, they could have had the son of an NBA player as a legit backup point guard. The difference is that instead of choosing Scottie Pippen Jr., who they had on their roster, they realistically chose the other NBA player's son. In fairness, the one who currently plays in the team. So, yeah, that is pretty much it. Let me know what you guys think. Do you guys agree with my take here, or do you guys disagree and think that, it doesn't have any relevance to the situation? I could be completely wrong on this. Either way, though, regardless of how you feel about this, Scottie Pippen Jr. has had a really, really good season. And if you guys agree, subscribe. We're trying to hit 3.75k by the end of the day, and we are 75 subscribers off. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.